But one thing I would say about this film, Kenneth Branagh, it must be a great feeling to have this story about your childhood, write it, film it, bring it on the screen exactly how you want it. Actually, black and white, you happy with the black and white? I was quite happy with, because sometimes you see a black and white film, you think they didn't need to do it, but I thought it worked quite well.
I think it had a really nice kind of almost sepia kind of. I mean, I can sort of see the trailer here. It's got like a sort of. It's not just like a straightforward monochrome, is it? It's got like a slight sort of tint to it. It's like the colour's been shifted a little bit there. It's got a nice aesthetic.
Yeah.
Like it.
One thing I thought of is, right, black and white films. Think of a really good one. We spoke about this earlier, actually. Roma.
Roma, yes.
And when I watched that, the black and white in that just seemed a bit more. They're two totally different films, but that one you're sitting on a lot of frames and the black and white is oozing. Whereas this one, because it was a lot more moving around and it seemed a different kind of black and white, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I think in the actual looking at it, which is this sort. People just won't understand, I guess. I think it's like the black point in the black and white. It's like shifted a little bit. The contrast has been pulled out of it a little bit. But when you look at Roma, it's got that real classic.
Oh, it's glorious.
Like film noir kind of vibe to it,
Yeah.
Which this didn't actually have that film noir style to it.
No,
it wasn't as contrasty, and it was felt a little bit. From a tech nerdy side, I would be quite surprised if it said that it wasn't shot on a red, just because it just has that very high contrast, not high contrast, high resolution look to it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's got an immediate look.
Yeah,
but Roma doesn't per se.
Yeah, it had to be very careful. I think there was a shot of a street, and I thought that looks like a set. It was very close to, because. I mean, but most of it was that it did feel like it was Ireland and those back in those times. But you've got to be so
absolutely. Yeah,
you only need one shot of some bricks and a door, and and it blows you out.
Yeah, I know.
Film. But it was close. But it was a good film. Do you think
it was good? It was good.
Think it's going to win? It's going to be close. No. Okay.
No.
Okay.
I think.
Well, the only thing
I think I know what's going to win.
I think I do. I think we'll talk about that in a minute.
And I think we both quite kind of like it as well.
But I just think, I don't know. It's getting a lot of buzz.
He might get director.
Yeah, for the Oscars. I mean, he's not going to get it at the BAFTAs, but that's why the only thing is with the BAFTAs, obviously it's the British award films, and I just think it's a big thing if they win the BAFTAs. But then directing, if we look at nominations for the Oscars directing, so Kenneth Branagh, Belfast, we've got The Power of the Dog, which we're going to speak about next, West Side Story, Steven Spielberg, he's always in with shouting anything, isn't he? So it's going to be an interesting one, but still a good solid film. Okay, right.
Yeah.
Next up then, well, actually, I've missed one out. Actually, let's do Don't Look Up, because that's sort of before we go on to Power of the Dog. We said we'd talk about this one. So Don't Look Up. Let's give you the blurb. So two low-level astronomers must go on a giant media tour to warn mankind of an approaching comet that will destroy planet Earth. Now, this one is directed by Adam McKay. It stars Leonardo DiCaprio, Jennifer Lawrence, Meryl Streep, she's funny in this, Jonah Hill, Mark Rylance. The list goes on to them. For Chalamet's in this just for no reason, just in it for 20 minutes or whatever. Is it? Yeah, he meets because he meets Jennifer Lawrence and they get it on together. And
of course.
Ariana Grande's in this. So this film really made me smile. It got mixed feelings because it came out on Netflix. Got mixed feelings. Some people slagged it off, but I enjoyed it. It was just an enjoyable romp. It was funny. It wasn't taking itself seriously. Leonardo DiCaprio is class, and Jennifer Lawrence are class together. That you can tell they were having a scream. And I really enjoyed it. When it came up for awards season, it was in there. I thought I was quite surprised. What was your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I thought it was a good satire. It's exactly what McKay does, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's this sort of, and yeah, I really enjoyed it. And I thought once again, it was actually a really good way of putting across the environmental issues that we've got without having to. Well, I suppose you could say that there's a political side to it, but no, it was entertaining as well.
Yeah,
I thought it was funny as well. I thought, I know that I could see like film Twitter.
No, I know some people would,
which is just like, oh man, I could see them tearing it a new one.
Come on. I mean,
But it was good. It was good.
Yeah, and what I loved, and we said this earlier about emotion, it wasn't taking itself too seriously. It was funny. And the ending was really, really quite powerful. When it was like, right, well, we are all going to die. And that's difficult to do scenes like that. Because then all of a sudden it turned and it was like serious. And you're like, wow, this is quite serious. Now, if they got that wrong, you'd be like, what a load of crap. But they actually got it quite right when they were sitting down to dinner and, the world was about to end. It was quite powerful. I thought, wow, that's, and they were just talking. I thought that was really powerful. I thought it was good.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I think it's one of those sort of films which will stand the test of time. I think it's just, the thing is as well, I don't know if people went in kind of expecting it to be, were they expecting it to be serious?
Yeah.
Something, because the thing is that the McKay is very good, because The Big Short.
Yeah. Oh, brilliant. Yeah.
That was really, really good.
Yeah.
So it's a bit like when the people are looking at a film and they're slating it down because I suppose it doesn't land with them, but it seems like for some people it seems like it's even more than that. It's kind of like sort of like a bigger emotional reaction back.
Yeah.
But they're really discounting the fact that the craft that goes into a film like that to actually enable those mechanics to work on the screen is a great thing. And I can see why it's up for an Oscar.
Yeah,
because it should be acknowledged in that regard. It's technically very, very good, and it's the way it puts it across.
And it's interesting what you say there, because I think sometimes if you are close to a film or not open enough to a character, you can easily shut it off. And a perfect example in this film is Mark Rylance, because he plays this tech guy that's, a billionaire. He's got this very funny, way around him, and
he's a great combination of a few people, isn't he?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, and you're like, well, actually,
hello,
I know it's taking the piss, but this you can guarantee there's these billionaires. They are a bit that. This is why they're geniuses. But you could take it the other way, and you could go, "Oh, this is what stupid acting," But if you're open to it, and you look at it, you're like, actually, he's got it right on point here.
And I think with McKay, I think it's once again, it shows the conviction of him as a filmmaker, because he has that conviction, that confidence to actually be bold enough to do that. People discount that idea that you've got that much budget, you've got those sort of actors on board, and yet you're still putting your mark down,
Yeah.
Really, really good.
And I enjoyed it. That can only be a good thing for cinema, because like we said earlier,
I agree.
We can have the standards, everything, but we've got the new Batman coming out, which is something we'd have never seen 10 years ago. We would have never seen this film 10 years ago. So it is, they're breaking through this mold, which is great. And Hollywood, I say Hollywood, which is a bit corny, but the industry, the bigger industry, understands people want fresh stuff. They want something different, which is nice which is nice to see. Okay, right then, let's go to our final one, the big bang.
Oh, let's not forget the
which one's that?
International one as well.
Oh yeah, well we'll talk about what we'll do. We'll do this one, and then we'll go through all bits and to note. But I thought, obviously, I'm guessing this is the one you think will win. It's The Power of the Dog. Now, this is Guy the Blurb, charismatic ranch Phil Burbank inspires fear and awe in those around him. When his brother brings home a new wife and a son, Phil torments them until he finds himself exposed to the possibility of love. Directed by the amazing Jane Campion, written by her and Thomas Savage. There was a novel, of course. Stars Benedict Cumberbatch, Kirsten Dunst, Jess Plemons, who is basically in everything everything now, and some actors I hadn't seen before as well, which were just fantastic. And of course, Cody Smith McPhee, who is just going on and building this brilliant career. He's just got one of those faces where the camera just
he's fantastic,
sucks up the end. It's just perfect. So yes, thoughts on this, Mr. McCormack?
Oh well, I just loved it, and I actually watched it the other night again. It's just a really well written script. It's really well directed. Great acting across the board on everybody in there. I think that it's got some great themes that come through. Campion she's a great director. What was it, Top of the Lake as well, the TV show that she did before was just brilliant. Everything she touches is great. And The Power of the Dog, Cumberbatch, just really, really good. I just felt like the tones were really nice in there. Obviously I've not read the book, so I want to read the book. Because it always starts with a great story. It's just great. What did you think?
I really enjoyed it. What I loved about it is I just love the way you can just watch it and just glide along with it, with these people. And we talk about emotion. I mean, the emotion, Benedict Cumberbatch is just so, I don't know what the word is, but he's just not underestimated. It's just, he's got all this inside. It's the same again, everything inside.
It's internalized, isn't it?
Yeah, not saying anything. And as the story unfolds, then you feel it. But I just thought it was a stunning film. I thought Kirsten Dunst was a standout. I thought she was great. I haven't seen her in anything much for a while. I saw her in Fargo, the TV, which she was great because she's she's married to Jesse Plemons in real life. And then Jesse Plemons, again, if you look at those three actors, Kirsten Dunst is, she's got a lot of work because of the drinking and things like that. But Jesse Plemons is a perfect example of an actor that can just, he's just going through those feelings, and he's this character. No big shouting, no big. He's just playing.
He's a great actor
perfectly. No acting. There's these three. There's no. This is them portraying that character perfectly. And then like you say, their setting was beautiful. And Jane Campion again. I've seen her in behind the scenes. The way she directs is just phenomenal. She's a great director. She really involves the actors, and she'll say, "What do you think?" And let's do. And she really involves them, and I love that. And I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. Loved it. Yeah.
I did absolutely as well. And I can watch films all day long with all different subject matters. But I really don't like it when they just. When it feels like it's pushing it as a political agenda. This is life. This is a story. That's what film's about. And Cumberbatch delivers this brooding character who is clearly sort of who is it? Is it Bronco? Bronco Henry. Now Bronco Henry, obviously he's the person that he's had this whatever it is, an affair with him, or something's happened sometime back in the past. I was assuming that was within there.
It's a deep love, isn't it, that he's had from a mentor. Maybe we're not sure, but I think the amazing thing with Benedict in this is you're watching it and the story's unfolding, and then when you realise you know, what's happened, you think that is why he has been this, you know, this so frustrated, because he wants, you know, Bronco Henry back. He wants to love another man like that. He knows it will never happen. He knows it can't happen in that day and age, you know, because he's this big brooding cowboy. And that frustration, and it's like when he said to Jesse Plemons, so the only thing he has to hold on to is his brother, you know, and then his brother goes, and you just, it's just great. It's
and then he's got Cody there. It's Cody, isn't it? That's his name.
Yeah.
Cody, so he's got Cody's character there. And I kind of thought about in this film, not to give any spoilers away, but I wondered about with Cody whether or not actually Cody was actually meant to be homosexual or not, because I kind of felt a little bit maybe he's not.
I don't
when
think,
I watched it in a second. No, exactly. So I thought it was a very astute and clever way where Campion delivered it about how people can look at things certain ways. So we've got Cumberbatch as this brooding sort of gruff cowboy who's clearly gay.
Yeah.
And then we've got Cody who is lighter touched, intellectual, more thoughtful, etc., where maybe if people's prejudices kick in, they might assume that he is gay. Well, I felt, no, he's not. He's who he is. And I liked that about the film, because as Cody walks through that camp and walks up to and looks at the tree, he shows Cumberbatch's character one thing that Cumberbatch's character cannot be, which is himself.
Yeah.
And I just thought that that's just so powerful to deliver that. And that's why I think that she should most certainly get the Oscar, especially for directing, because of that, because it's just the subtlety.
Yeah.